In every conflict across human history, the decisive terrain is the narrative. The side that owns the story wins before the first shot fires. Decoding modern geopolitics in real time is difficult. Personal bias, emotional outrage, and the constant pressure of the 24-hour news cycle often cloud our ability to see structural patterns. To observe the systems of power clearly, we can use a closed, fictional simulation. This removes the baggage of modern politics and allows us to watch how human systems behave under pressure. Arrakis, the desert world of Frank Herbert's Dune, functions as a laboratory for these behaviors. It provides a specific set of constraints to test how empires respond to scarcity and internal rivalry. Empires do not collapse randomly. They fracture along predictable fault lines. Identifying these patterns in fiction makes them recognizable in our own world. On Arrakis, power begins with the Padishah Emperor and House Harkonnen. The Harkonnens are a noble family tasked with extracting a resource found on no other planet in the universe. That resource is spice, a drug that enables both life extension and interstellar space travel. Every movement within the galactic empire depends on the flow of this one substance. This diagram shows a chokehold economy. A single node, spice, connects all others. Controlling the center controls the network. The empire uses proxies for extraction. The central throne remains distanced from brutality, while wealth flows upward. Maintaining this system requires the extraction zone to remain impoverished. If the local population gains control of their own resource, the empire loses its leverage. Total resource dependency creates systemic fragility. When a galactic economy relies on one localized source, disruption at that single point can collapse the entire structure. The emperor eventually shifts this balance. He removes the Harkonnens and transfers control of the planet to their rivals, House Atreides. This transfer is a trap. The emperor fears Leto's popularity, using Arrakis to eliminate a rival. Historical patterns show that delegation and expansion inevitably create internal competitors. Commanders who govern distant territories often accumulate enough local loyalty to challenge the central throne. House Atreides is not defeated by a traditional military siege. Instead, their own doctor disables the palace shields from within to save his kidnapped wife. Once shields fall, the emperor's elite soldiers join the invasion. They wear enemy uniforms to hide his involvement, maintaining the illusion of a unified empire. The initial threat to a leader often comes from the throne room. Maintaining power requires managing internal allies as carefully as defeating external enemies. Duke Leto is killed, but his son Call and Lady Jessica survive by escaping into the deep desert, a region the Empire considers uninhabitable. Their survival depends on myth seeding. An exclusive sisterhood with mental and physical abilities spent centuries planting religious prophecies among native populations to ensure their own future influence. In the desert, they find the Fremen. These are native populations who have adapted perfectly to survive the lethal environment and the giant sandworms. Paul defeats a Fremen warrior in a ritual duel, fulfilling a planted prophecy. His power shifts from military command to the force of ideological conviction. Power resides in the minds of the people who control the memory and narrative of the land. The side that manages these beliefs often outlasts the side with the most advanced technology. These patterns are not unique to science fiction, nor are they a direct map of any single modern conflict. Resource dependency breeds fragility. Internal fear drives systemic betrayal. Narrative belief outlasts military force. Understanding global events requires looking past the surface level of good versus bad factions to see the structures underneath. The first step is to adopt the perspective of someone who notices these patterns before choosing a side. Look at the systems around you. What memories does your own environment hold?